I feel like I came close to relapse last week because it became like an obsession of my mind when all that stuff went down last week that I spoke about in my last video. I got into a really dangerous frame of mind where I was thinking about relapsing. So after 8 years of sobriety, I haven't touched a drink for 18 years and I almost threw it all away. So let's get into it. Thank you so much for all the incredible supportive messages on that last video I made, which I know is very hard to watch. It was hard to make. The video called Ashamed. If you, go back and watch that one because it gives you some context for this one. But yeah, I feel like I came dangerously close to relapsing over that video. Because I feel like an addict's mind, which I have, I've been in recovery for 18 years. I relapsed 8 years ago, so I'm back. I feel like that addict's mindset is to jump when you have something really traumatic happen in your life. For me, my brain will go straight to using, even if I haven't thought about it for years. Like I was in a really good place and I wasn't thinking about drinking or using for years, and then all the stuff went down from that last video with Alfie, and my response immediately after that happened was like, I'm gonna go and get some drugs. And it's so crazy, it comes completely out of nowhere. It's like when I relapsed last time 8 years ago, that thought just came out of nowhere. And it feels like, whoa, where's that come from? I thought I dealt with that, I haven't used for so long. I thought I dealt with that. But if you're an addict, that can just come straight out of the blue. And my first thought was, that's just come out of the blue. That's something bad's happened in my life. So that's the way I think, and it's just come almost randomly. But then I realized I haven't been going to meetings. I haven't called my sponsor for a long time. And I'm out of the program. I was doing my steps again, and I got up to step 2, and I sort of just let the air out of the brakes, the foot of the accelerator. Is that how you call it? So really, it didn't come out of the blue. I was ready. I was preparing for this for these relapse thoughts in a way, because I wasn't putting the groundwork in. So yeah, I was like, I'm just going to go and get some drugs. And I got quite far in the planning before I reined myself in. And the amazing thing about this program is that I feel like my higher power put an AA meeting in the way. It was like all this head spinning, head churning, like thinking about using and how am I going to do it? And how am I going to do it secretly so no one knows? It's embarrassing to admit this, but as an addict and as a public person now, I don't want anyone to know that I'm using. But when that traumatic shit went down last week, my mind went there, and the first thing was like, how do I do it and no one knows? And I can still look like this sober guy. It's crazy. It's terrible that was the way that my mind worked, but I'm grasping myself up, I'm telling on myself, I'm telling you guys. So, the fact that I'm telling you means it can't happen, if you know what I mean. If I'm brutally honest in these videos, and if I continue to be brutally honest and that's my thing, I can't relapse, because I would have to come and tell you, and it would be, I'd lose my family, everything would go away. But even knowing all that, the addict's mind will tell you to use, even though all that happens as a consequence, because it's my way of dealing with life if I don't have this 12 steps in place, if I don't have a sponsor in place, if I don't have my program in place, my response to traumatic things happening is to use. So yeah, it was a really crazy time, because not only, like, if I'd have had a drug or a drink, it would have made everything worse. There's nothing in this world that happens, that nothing bad that can happen to me that a drink or a drug won't make way worse. And I know that in my head. I know that instinctively. I know that rationally, I should say, but addiction isn't rational. And addiction will just tell me, throw everything away, just go and use. And you know what? I was looking at like homeless people on the street, jealous that they were able to get high. It's crazy. I was literally looking at a homeless camp going, at least they can just, check out. I mean, I'm judging that they're addicts, but, my mind was like jealous of that lifestyle, like living like that but able to check out. I actually got jealous of it because I was so traumatized by the stuff that happened in the last video. I couldn't deal with it because I didn't have my program in place and I didn't have my tools in place. So I felt like it's really good for me to jump on here this week and tell you guys what happened, because that's my thing, and I want to continue being honest. And I want to talk about this stuff. And if I'm honest, then it's not going to get me, because, well, no, it's not just that I got to put my program in, but also being ruthlessly honest is a great way to stop using, because I can't do it. And luckily it's passed, because going back to that meeting, I feel like my higher power put an AA meeting in my way yesterday. And I hadn't been to a meeting, and that's why I wanted to use, because of what happened. And luckily, my higher power just went, there you go, there's an AA meeting. And I had to go, because I had to talk, and I had to talk for an hour. So thank you for everyone that invited me to talk at that meeting. Because as I was talking, I was sort of telling my story and trying to be attractive to people as a person in AA, trying to attraction rather than promotion, trying to tell my story and saying, look, this is what happened for me. As I was telling my story, I realized how important my program is to me and how important sobriety is to me. So it was a real God shot, or higher power shot, or whatever you want to call it. It's crazy the way this works. And I'm so grateful that I had to talk at a meeting yesterday, and I feel like this is some supernatural stuff going on, because I really needed it. The time that I really needed the meeting, I had to go to a meeting, even though I haven't been for a couple of weeks. So yeah, I wanted to grasp myself up, come on here and tell you what happened. This is the second time this has happened since I've been making videos. And the last time I told you guys that I wanted to use, I felt better in the days after, because like I always say, this is like, I found this medium of YouTube in the pandemic, and it's become like AA to me. I can talk to you guys, but I need to go to real AA as well. But yeah, you guys, thank you for helping keep me sober, because having to be accountable to you was a big reason that I didn't do it, I think. So yeah, I'm over it now. I don't feel like that at all now. I don't feel like it was just a fleeting reaction to what happened with Alfie, and I didn't use, still sober, still got my time, thank God. And yeah, it's good to talk about it though. So if you're struggling with addiction, try a 12-step program. There's some magic there, I think. I love you guys, and until next time, I'll speak to you soon. Does that work? That doesn't even make sense. Until next time, I'll speak to you soon. I'll speak to you soon, or until next time.